Hello everyone, it's the Thrifty Hammy and I'm here today to tell you about how you can make your own seed mix for your hamster and also how I make my own seed mix for my hamster. So first and foremost, you are definitely going to need a scale. You have to measure your seed mix by weight, not by like cups and tablespoons and things like that. So mine is a little low tech, but it works just fine. You just need to make sure that whatever you're measuring, it's always starting on 0. Next, you're going to want to buy some kind of commercial seed mix. I have Vitacraft Vitasmart and also some Oxbow. You're always going to want to include some kind of commercial seed mix in your personal seed mix just to make sure that your hamster is getting all the nutrients and vitamins that they need. And then of course you're going to need your seeds for your seed mix. I got all of my stuff from a Fresh Time store. You can find it easily in any kind of organic food store, and buying in bulk is always ideal because it will be very cheap. So this is a website that I found on the Hamster Hideout forums. I don't know who made it, but it's really helpful because it pretty much does all of the math for you. This is a picture of how I did my seed mix. As you can see, you have to calculate the percent of protein that's in each ingredient, and then the same with fat and fiber, and then you have to decide how much of that you want in your seed mix to get the ideal protein, fat, and fiber ratio that is healthy for a hamster diet. So basically for protein, you're going to want between 18 and 22%. Mine is 18%. You really don't want to go above 20 unless you have a pregnant or very young hamster. Then they will need extra protein. But for a fully aged hamster, 18 to 19% is just fine. Fat, you want to stay between 4 and 6%, and fiber, you want to stay between 8 and 10%. So this is an example of what you might find on the back of food. As you can see, the serving size is 172 grams and there's 1 gram of fat in that. So you want to take 1 divided by 172 and that will give you the percent of fat that is in that food. And then you just do the exact same thing for the dietary fiber there and then the protein down at the bottom. So once you've done all that, all you have to do is enter that information into this table, and then you have to figure out how much of that food you want in your diet. And to do that, you're really just going to have to play with numbers. Try to find foods that have a really high protein and a lower fiber. I struggled with that, especially all of the foods that I originally picked were high in protein and fiber, and so my fiber ratio was way off. So try to find something that has a big gap between protein and fiber, and it shouldn't take you too long to find a good balance to make a very healthy seed mix for your hamster. Next, you'll want to use this website, which I also found on the Hamster Hideout forum, and I will also post in the description below. And in box 2 there, you'll just basically enter in all of the information you used on the previous website, which is basically all your ingredients and then how much you're going to be putting in. And then box 1 there, you'll just have to decide how you want to weigh your ingredients by either grams, pounds, or ounces. And then finally in box 3 / the results box, it will tell you exactly how much food you should put in the seed mix to make it the balanced diet that you want. So now I'm going to show you how I made my seed mix and exactly the amounts that I used. If you would like to do the same exact thing as me, that's totally fine. Just know that this seed mix is specifically for Syrian hamsters. No dwarf hamsters, no other kind of pet rodents. This is only for Syrians. So basically how I picked my seeds for my seed mix was I looked at ingredients that were in popular commercial foods like Hazel Hamster, Oxbow, Vitasmart, things like that. And then I also looked at seed mixes that other people had made to just kind of pick out some ingredients that might work. And then I used those websites with the charts to find a good mix that worked for me and had the appropriate nutrients that would keep my hamster healthy. So then I went to my local Whole Foods store and I saw what ingredients were for sale there, what they had, and then I came back, reworked my recipe, and then I finally went and bought my seeds. So this is kind of a long process, but for me it was totally worth it. So first I started out with some of my Vitacraft VitaSmart, and I did 0.8 pounds of that. And you'll notice that I'm putting all of my seed mix in an airtight Tupperware container to keep it as fresh as possible. And next I added my oxbow, and I had 0.12 pounds of that. Next I added some rolled oats. This is also just known as dried oatmeal. You can buy it in the cereal aisle. Just make sure that you get ones that don't have any added flavor or sugar. And I did 0.62 pounds of rolled oats. Next, I'm adding some steel cut oats. You might also find them advertised as steel cut oat groats. And I did 0.37 pounds of those. And next I add some millet. And I did 0.8 pounds of that. Next I did some wild rice, and that was also 0.8 pounds. Then some wheat germ, and I did 0.12 pounds of that. Next I added some kamut, and I did 0.8 pounds of that. Then I did some red lentils, and for that I did 0.12 pounds. Then I added some green split peas, and I had 0.86 pounds of that. Then I did some adzuki beans, and I had 0.18 pounds for that. Then I did some red winter wheat, and I had 0.18 pounds. And finally, these are nutritional yeast flakes. I did 0.12 pounds of that. Ideally, the flakes should definitely be larger than this, but this was all that my store had, so I'm making it work for now, but hopefully I will be getting larger flakes in the future. At the time of making this video, I did not yet have my sunflower seeds, but I did add sunflower seeds to my mix. I did 0.25 pounds of them. So this is my finished seed mix, and as you can see, because the nutritional flakes are so powdery, they did kind of settle on the bottom, but I am working to compensate for that. I might be adding some of the powder to my hamster's protein supplements that she gets, or I might just stir it up every time I refeed her, which will work perfectly fine. And these are all of the leftover ingredients that I had at the end of making my seed mix. In all those bulk seeds there cost me about $40, but it also made about 3 times more seed mix than if I had bought a commercial seed mix from a pet store. I ran out of millet and split green peas, but other than that, I had tons of leftover of everything. So yeah, I hope this helped you and encouraged you to make your own personal seed mix for your Syrian. If you use my seed mix, I'd greatly appreciate it if you credit me, but other than that, feel free to use any inspiration you get from this video to make your hamster happy and healthy. And yes, subscribe please to my channel, like the video if you liked it, comments and questions are greatly appreciated, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!